Hello everyone. We are back and we are ready to go. Moving into Spyro Reignited Trilogy, also known as SRT. There'll be a lot of that today. So this will be our first jumping into SRT2, which is very broken. Groxu has a lot to explain for this run, so I think he's going to start a little bit now, but it is very wacky. We got level storage, we got all sorts of weird stuff going on to really confuse the game a lot, but it's a very good category.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Hello everyone. We are back with SRT, our first run of the day. This is going to be any percent for Spyro 2. Essentially, since we don't have like any boss escape and stuff like that, well, we have one. We basically named it any percent, but it's essentially like 14 tally for OG. Um, but yeah, a lot will be explained during the run, so you will see what's happening. And and I'll try my best to actually provide you some context on what is going on and the tricks and also like useful information about the run because there's a lot to tackle even though this is a semi short run, right? Anyway, if House is ready, I can count him down. I can count him down. Hello, yeah, hell yeah. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, and go, my friend. Let's say GLs to our Russian friend in chat. I hope you are all ready for the beautiful run upcoming. This is indeed a very broken category. Um, with a lot of stuff, obviously, we're going to start in Glimmer. One thing I will mention to you guys is that there is a thing we call 90 minutes. Basically, if you wait in the game around like 90 minutes, you get an extended jump for some reason. It's related to probably Unreal 4 engine physics and stuff like that. So with 90 minutes, for example, we can do a skip past this bridge without even landing on the torch or whatever. I was just going to probably do it a couple of times, and if he can't, he probably will do like a torch jump or something. But yeah, he's doing that right now. But basically, we have an extended jump which allows us to do much more stuff, many more skips, including climbless. We don't actually have to buy climb, and the run will. The only gems that we have to collect during the run are for the 3 unlockable levels, which is Aquaria, obviously. Well, not obviously. In OG, you can skip it. Over here, you really can't, but you'll see that in a second. And obviously the other two in Olum Plains, which are Shady and Zephyr, right? So the start to the round is pretty timid, let's say. There's not much going on. We don't have any skips over here in Idle Springs. We will just have to kill all the Tiki guys casually. We will, get some gems in the meantime. Pretty basic stuff. When is 80 skip? Never. I mean, it would be cool if we had a gulp skip or whatever. We do have one, there is a one disconnected piece of scenery in Onum Plains that we can squeeze through, but it's almost impossible, and also it requires level storage. You'll see what level storage is later, obviously. I'll also explain more or less what's happening, but it will happen probably around Shady, because it's also another auto-scroll level, let's say. So yeah. Over here, we're just going to do a skip with 90 minutes. Also, this is a 90-minute jump only. Also, the physics are tied to FPS, so you probably can't see it. Maybe you can, I don't know. But House is playing with 30 FPS, and the jump height is related to FPS in this game. We allow 30 as the lowest, but if you don't want to submit to the boards or whatever, you can play, for example, at 5 FPS and do a moon jump for no reason. So it's very cool. Thanks, game. You can also lag the game, for example, by changing screens or whatever, and that also, lowers the FPS and stuff like that. So yeah, yeah, it's not a very cool, uh, way of approaching that. But thankfully, you know, we have pretty defined rules, so we don't allow stuff like that. But it's still a pretty cool run. Anyway, over here in Colossus, we're going to do like the simplest of skip, basically, which is also possible in OG, it's also possible in here. We're just going to get on top of this wall and get to the... We're going on the statue first, because we don't have double jump and we don't have enough height to actually get on top of the wall first. And then we're just going to jump over to the end of the level. It's pretty simple. It's one of the first things you actually learn in this game. One necessary, basically, thing in this run and overall in this game is a tech called Perfect Hover. And Perfect Hovers are basically if you time your hover so that it's like very shortly after you start gliding, you get like additional height. So that's like one of the first things that you learn in this game. Yeah, it's PC. Now, I will tell you one thing of what's happening, what House is doing over here. He's basically trying to do a thing called wrong warp. So if you pause perfectly in the same on the same frame as you enter the portal, as you can see, the game thought you're in Glimmer because you hit the portal. So now we're exiting the level, and the game is absolutely spazzing out. It doesn't know what's happening. And if your loads are fast enough, you will actually get put out of... Let's see if he got it. Yeah, you will get put out of Ocean Speedway for some reason. It's no one knows why it happens. Don't ask me. It's a broken game. No one knows it. You can sometimes get out of Glimmer if your loads are slow and stuff like that. But our goal to skip swim, obviously, is to go to Ocean Speedway. This is the fastest way loadless. We can also do a wall glide to skip swim, but it's slower and loadless. It's faster RTA, but yeah. And as you can see, House did a couple of perfect covers, and then he clipped. So very similar as in OG, except we clipped on the upper side of this moving platform instead of the lower. So it's similar like in OG, but you know, we had to do some perfect hovers up there, get on top of the funny windmill thing, and yeah, then we just basically clipped out of bounds and skipped to the end of the level. So that's very cool. Now you'll see something very peculiar. So basically, we're going to flame this turtle, and you might ask why. Why do we even bother? Obviously, we don't have swim, so we have to get through somehow. And the easiest way is to, if you squeeze yourself between this turtle, you can get, you know, pushed somewhere. In this case, he got pushed upwards. Now he got pushed out of bounds, and he can just go over here, and now he can just swim out of bounds. He's underneath the water section, and because like the water boxes extend out of bounds, you can just swim to the end of the level basically with that. So yeah, it's both proxy and out of bounds. You just get squeezed between the turtle and the wall, and it can like either proxy you upwards or just proxy you out of bounds or stuff like that. It's just like, you know. Anyway, as you can see, we almost have enough gems for Aquaria, so we're going to buy it. Now, Aquaria is a pretty simple level. We have a way to actually skip to the end of the level, and unlike in OG, we don't have to fill the level with water. We just don't have to. We can just talk to the guy and he will give us the talisman. That's why we frequently just mean that our world is dry again. But yeah, there is a pixel above this gate on which you can stand for some reason, and you just jump to the end of the level. You talk to the guy, he will give you the talisman. You just leave. You don't care. Simple as that, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, our world is dry again. No water, sadly. Um, yeah, the round became way harder with 90 minutes. I'll say that much. There's a couple of tricks that you can do, and they are possible only with 90 minutes. So that's the thing. Now we're heading into Crush. And Crush isn't as simple as an OG. It's a little bit more complicated. It's hard to describe exactly what's happening, but basically, House is going to attempt to perform a trick called double hit. Basically, if you stand in the right spot and you flame at the right time, you can kind of, if you get hit, you can still buffer it with your flame. So the flame will hit Crush, and after the flame hits Crush, he actually doesn't recognize it. The game does, but he doesn't. So you can flame him the second time, and he will lose 2 hit points basically. So that's that's unfortunate, but unfortunate for him. Okay, let's see. You can do it only on this one, on the blue blue right one. That's the only. Well, you can do it on others. It's just way harder, almost impossible. Yeah, he didn't get a single one. That's very unfortunate, but it's hard to showcase when you're doing it. It's like super precise. Like only a handful of people can do this actually. So it's not as simple as it looks. It requires precise angle, precise timing. Everything is super precise about this trick. Okay. So it's a shame we didn't manage to see it. Maybe I'll be able to perform it later tonight. Maybe. Just I'm just saying. You should watch the run of 40 later tonight. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, we're going to Crystal Glacier now. There are 2 tricks that are pretty important when it comes to Crystal Glacier. There are some smaller ones as well. Like for example, there's a Dahlia skip over here. I mean, Fade to Black skip. Yeah, House did it, so it saves like half a second or a second, whatever. Doesn't matter. But there are 2 very crucial tricks. The first one is a Soul Dupe, which I'll talk about in a second, and the second one is Height Cap Break. So Soul Dupe is basically what we want to do is we want these 2 guys to line up so that we can flame them, and before their bodies actually despawn, we want to get into Zoe. We want to get to Zoe so that she zaps us, and that makes the soul count stay at 6, but their bodies will just respawn. At the first time, what House did is he didn't actually get zapped by Zoe, so that's a problem. So now he did it, and he should have 6 souls and both these enemies still alive. So that means we can just clear all the enemies that are over here, and we will get enough souls to activate the power up. So that's very easy. Now, when we activate the power up, we're gonna hold down on our D-pad, I think, and then up on our slightly up on our analog, slightly up, so that the game thinks we're going down because of our analog input, but because the D-pad input is like one-dimensional basically. It kind of overwrites it, and you get more momentum going upwards, but the game thinks you're going downwards, so you can like just bypass the height cap that is there and just get on top of the upper ledge. That's pretty simple, pretty easy. Now we're heading into Breeze Harbor, and this level is total 8s, thanks to yours truly, me. Basically, we're going to do a skip to the end of the level, but it isn't as simple as an OG. We're going to do a parkour on that anchor that you see. Those are very precise jumps. House missed it once, so he's going to defuse and do it again. But yeah, he's going to do a little parkour on this anchor, as you can see. Those are very precise jumps. And there you go, he made it, perfect. And then he's just going to do some parkour on those pipes, on top of the ship. We don't have masts, so we can't do mastless. Well, we do mastless, but even if we didn't, we don't have masts, we have chimneys, I guess. So, yeah. There it is. That was Breeze. Pretty fast level, but we had to come up with some more clever stuff than just clipping through the wing of that ship. But yeah. Alright, now Skelos, or Skelos, I don't even know how it's pronounced. Anyway, this level isn't that difficult. We're going to abuse another trick, which is wall glide. Wall gliding are slightly different than in other games. Basically, we have to push into the wall in order to gain height, compared to OG, where you have to kind of like glide along it, kind of, right? We have to push into the wall, and that's how we gain height. And, well, very simple level. You just skip to the upper ledge, you go to the end of the level, get the talisman, and we're out. Now, this not now we're going to encounter something weird, kind of something different, because we're not actually going into some weird random level or whatever. We're actually going to go to a speedway. It will make sense when we get to Shady and I explain how level storage works, but we're going to do Speedway. You will also see how cool Speedways done fast look in SRT, in my opinion at least. Like, from a casual point of view, you probably will be able to spot that. It's not as easy. It's not as easy. We like to aim for a like 46s kind of. You can go lower, but 46 Metro is pretty good. Also, we're going to try a perfect frame perfect pose on hitting the last gate, so that we don't have to see this animation of Spyro going up, you know, doing the fucking, you know, the turns in midair, the funny things. Anyway, so yeah, if we skip that, it also saves some time. Load this at least. RTA, I guess, also. Yeah, there you go. House actually got it, so he's just... he paused on the last one. The game gave you a skill, gave him a skill point, which means that he got everything. He got 400 gems. He completed the speedway, and that is very crucial that he completed the speedway, because it extends the timer of the speedway from 30 seconds to 10 minutes, right? So it's very crucial. Now, he did this jump, which is basically skipping the climb. This is how we do climbless in this game. Obviously, it's a jump possible only with 90 minutes on 30 FPS. But it's not that hard with that, honestly, with those two height extending things. Now, House isn't going for a score skip. We have a score skip that is it's depressing, honestly. It says like 2-3 seconds maybe, and it's like infinitely harder. It's horrible, genuinely. But yeah, he's not going for it. He's just going to do the casual. I don't blame him, honestly. He probably wants to get below the estimate. Yeah. I need to be really fast with my commentary because the levels are quite fast. So yeah. Actually, the next one isn't going to be because it's Fracture Hills and we don't have Satorless or anything like that. And I'll tell you why when we get to the level, actually. So we're entering Scotland. And we have to free the satyrs. Now, the reason why we have to free the satyrs because Toys for Bob were kind enough, very kind enough, to put absolutely solid from every single side block, like surrounding the talisman room. Like it's a massive block. You just cannot like, you cannot like surpass it, just go from the other side or whatever. It's just a block. It isn't a wall which you could, for example, like, I don't know, just go around or something. It's a block. So yeah, we can't do Satelless really, unless we find a way to somehow clip into that block, which I don't really see how. But nonetheless, the level isn't like horribly long, I guess. We're just listening to funny bagpipe dudes, and we're leaving Scotland. We don't want to be in Scotland for too long. Now, after this level, we're entering possibly the hardest level in the run, at least in my opinion. It's a hardest level in the run because of how many tight jumps you have and how punishing they are if you actually miss them. Because like if you miss some of the other jumps, they are not like super punishing, I guess. They just lose like 5 seconds or whatever. Those basically lose like 15 each if you miss them. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to do climb this again. Obviously this level includes a lot of climb, a lot of ladders, so we're just going to try to skip them. House killed 2 enemies in order to get a power up at the end of the level, the super flight power up. Now this is the spot that we do climbeless in, and he actually nailed it. If you don't, then you fall down, you don't have climb, so you have no way of getting back up, and you have to exit the level and go again, so that loses a lot of time. Now there's a little thing out of bounds that we can stand on, and then just go over here, and then we're going to use a damage abuse on this lava spot over here, flowing lava. And we can boost ourselves up to the ledge with the power up, get the fly to the end of the level. We don't even have to close the volcano. The guy just doesn't care, honestly. He's like, yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for helping us. So yeah, you just talk to him. He gives you the talisman. You leave. It's a very hard level though. There's a lot of precise jumps that are very punishing if you miss them. Now, we're going to enter Shady Oasis. There's nothing very exciting about this level because we still have to escort Shorty, and Shorty is sadly way slower than an OG. So I'll have some time to explain to you what level storage is. Basically, we do similar thing as in Wrong Warp, where we entered Glimmer, but we didn't. We do the same thing but on Gulp entry. When we exit level, we will leave one of the speedways in Odin Plains. It is either Icy Speedway or Metro Speedway. If you're doing a casual run of this game, you probably want to do Icy Speedway because you don't want to risk. I'll tell you in a second what you're risking, kind of. But if not, if you want to be the fastest, you do only Metro because it's the fastest speedway, and you progress, you just go and hope for the best. Now, the thing is, we don't, I at least, and most of the people, House apparently knows like how to manipulate what speedway you're going to get out of, but apparently, but most of us just don't know what speedway you're going to get. It's kind of like RNG, what we think. And we essentially want Metro Speedway because this is the speedway that we did. If we didn't do IC, first of all, the portal isn't even there. We would have to buy IC, right? So that requires us getting more gems, which is ultimately slower. But even if we just buy it, we only have 30 seconds to get into Ripto, and then we can't fight Ripto with a level storage. So that's a problem. It's way slower that way. So we want Metro. If you don't have Icy bot and you get Icy, Well, you softlock the game, my friend. That's the problem. You softlock the game because you don't have the speedway enabled, and if you die, you do whatever, because you can't really get to Metro on during the cutscene. You just lose, okay? You just lose, friend. You softlock the game, you have to restart, so we'll see how House will approach that and what he will get. I'll explain that. And if you get Metro, there's a bunch of inputs. Basically, you want to retry the speedway and then skip the cutscenes, so the game will think that you're in a speedway and will give you the speedway power-ups, but you will be in Gulp's Overlook, which is it's very strange. It's hard to explain exactly what's happening, but that's just the thing. So here in Zephyr, we're going to jump out of bounds over here, and we're going to get on those conveniently placed stones over here. You can't see them because the camera didn't show them, but yeah, you're standing on those stones. Then you jump on the invisible wall that is over here. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Bob, for putting another invisible wall. This one is at least useful. So thanks, Bob. And you just go all the way to the end of the level. You don't even have to blow up the TNTs. Corporal Glag, or whatever his name is probably very sad that he's still trapped in this talisman room. But, you know. We don't care. Anyway, now we're going to be transported to Gulp's Overlook, and you'll see how that looks. He didn't get the pulse. Very unfortunate. So if you don't get a pulse, you need to exit level and then you do the same thing again. Try until you succeed. Glog is dead. Yeah, there you go. So he is leaving the thing, and the thing is that you saw a purple screen flash, and the purple screen means that you are actually leaving out of Metro. So he got this, now he's entering Metro blindly, and he's doing a retry. Now he's going to skip the cutscene, and he's going to hopefully get not get anything right now. Okay, he didn't get anything. That means you don't softlock the game. You just death abuse over here. And after you respawn, you will get this, the speedway power-ups. So Superflight and Supercharge. And the fight is trivial with Supercharge, because apparently you can damage Gulp with that, so you just Supercharge him to death. Cool, I guess. Now, we're going to abuse that Superflight that we got from level storage. We're going to do the same trick that we did in Crystal Glacier, which is height cap break. And we're going to fly into Ripto basically with our super flight. Just going, there you go. You can very clearly see that he's slightly going down because he still is pressing down on his analog. I mean, he's pressing up on his analog so that he goes down, but he's also pressing down on his D-pad so that he goes like very sharply up, and that's how you skip into Ripto basically. You don't need 4 Yorps, we can skip like that. Without level storage is impossible, sadly. And because we have, for the first phase, we have a supercharge, which is supercharging Ripto to death. We're collecting 2 orbs so that we have 2 orbs present for the next phase already. And we're hoping for a blue, eventually a green orb that is very close to Mecha Globe, because with that you can actually one cycle Mecha Globe. Let's see. You can do double hits on Mecha Globe. Very good, very, very pretty. Hunter was actually kind enough so that he got both the blue one and the green that was very close. Sadly, Hunter isn't that kind always, but yeah, you know what it is. Anyway, obviously on the last hit of Ripto, the time will be up. This phase is very simple, because Ripto's movement isn't as unpredictable kind of as in OG. and he's way slower, so you can predict what he's doing. As you can see, we're almost done. Just 2 hits left. So hit 1 and hover, hit, and this is the time. My friends, GG. That was a very clean run, I'd say. Only a couple of mistakes. Only a couple. So I think this round is still pretty good. Probably like around 20, I'd even say. Like around 20 loadless. Very good round. Very solid. We're going to see also what House gets in our Tunnel of Love. You can place bets. Predict, ladies and gentlemen. What we're going to get. Is it a phone or is it like, I don't know, something. 2055 loadless. That's very good, yeah. That's super good. Very good rounds you just witnessed, guys. And we got a professor. That's kind of cringe. Anyway. Did anyone win, actually? I don't think anyone won. Cringe. Anyway. Yeah, I think that's, he's going to try once again. Okay. Well. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for having me, guys. And, thank you to House, obviously. He did a fantastic job. The round was really good. I think it's like 3rd or 4th place overall, so it's very solid. Just minor mistakes here and there, but that's fine. Especially with 0 double hits, that's really good. Each double hit saves 10 seconds. So you can get 2, so he lost 20 seconds just by that. And we got Chef.
I'm so glad we got the Chef now.
That's amazing, man. But yeah, that's the run. That's too early from Mr. T.
Thank you, Groxu, for doing commentary there. Very good,
yeah, my pleasure.
Every time I see this game, it reminds me of how broken it is.
It is. It very much is. This is the most broken one, I'd say. Spyro 3 is kind of the same broken, but it's in the bad way, I'd say. Anyway, that's yeah, that's all I'm going to say. It's still a very fun speedrun, as you can see. At least to watch. I don't know. If anyone wants to run the game, I'm here. You can DM me. Anyway.
Alright, so we're going to head back to our big screen real quick. We're going to do a quick transition yet again. Still playing catch up a bit here. So up next, we have... I completely drawn a blank. I should know this. I'm the schedule person. I should know this. What is next?
You probably should.
I should know this. Oh yeah, it is. RDA. We're on to handhelds. We have Season of Flame. So we'll have RDA coming on for a cheat category. It'll be kind of a mixture of like cheats and no early ripto. Somehow that ends up being faster. I don't really understand the logic behind it, but it is a category nonetheless. So we'll be having some mixture of cheats and no skipping into things early. So whatever that means, we will see. But, alright, we will be right back.